Have you ever had a moment where everything feels like too much? Where you're surrounded by people yet feel completely alone? Where the path ahead seems blurred and you ask yourself the one question you're too scared to say out loud: what am I doing with my life? There's no mat for days like this, no clear answer, just an overwhelming fog in your heart and the quiet ache of being lost. But in that very moment, this is what Krishna would say to you. From the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 47. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You have a right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. You see, Krishna isn't just speaking to a warrior on a battlefield. He's speaking to you on the days you feel behind, on the nights you question your worth, in those silent hours when you're scrolling through life, comparing, wondering why nothing feels enough. He's reminding you of something you forgot. Your worth is not in the outcome. It's in the effort, the showing up, the quiet, relentless trying, even when it feels like no one sees you. Maybe right now, you're not where you thought you'd be. Maybe the dreams you had didn't unfold the way you planned. But Krishna never promised a life free of confusion. What he did promise is that your path has meaning, even when you can't see it yet. In chapter 4, verse 7, he says, "Whenever there is a decline in righteousness and an increase in unrighteousness, O Arjuna, at that time I manifest myself." When light fades, Krishna steps in, not just in the world, but inside you. That feeling of being lost, it's not the end of the road. It's the divine re-entering your story. Not to fix everything, but to walk beside you through it. When you're lost, you're not broken, you're becoming. Because the Gita never says, don't fall. It says, rise again. In chapter 6, verse 5, Krishna says, "Elevate yourself by your own self. Do not degrade yourself, for the self alone is the friend of the self, and the self alone is the enemy of the self." The real battle isn't out there, it's inside. And when you feel lost, Krishna whispers, "I'm here, not above you, not beyond you, I'm within you." We keep searching for answers in external places, in approval, in success, in plans that go perfectly. But Krishna, he's not waiting for things to go right before he shows up. He's already with you in your confusion, your questions, your restlessness. Because being lost isn't a detour, it's part of the journey. Sometimes you have to lose your way, to lose your ego, to soften, to remember. Do you remember the moment Arjuna collapsed on the battlefield? He dropped his bow, he broke down, and he said, "I can't do this." And do you know what Krishna did? He didn't shame him. He didn't leave. He stayed. He sat beside him in his breakdown and gently reminded him of his power. Krishna doesn't expect you to be fearless. He just wants you to remember who you are beneath the fear. In chapter 2, verse 12, Krishna says, "There never was a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. You are not temporary. You are not your failures, your doubts, your lost phases. You are a soul on a path, and even when you can't see the road, Krishna can. He sees the version of you that's still unfolding, stronger, wiser, softer, clearer. So when you feel lost, you don't need to have all the answers. You just need to do what Arjuna did. Pause, breathe, and listen. Not to the noise, not to the fear, but to the quiet voice within that says, "You're not done yet." If you're hearing this now, maybe it's not an accident. Maybe this is your reminder. You're not as lost as you think. The path isn't gone, It's just turning. And Krishna, he's not waiting at the destination. He's walking with you, step by step. Let him. And when your mind whispers, I don't know what to do, let your heart reply, I'll just take one small step with faith. Because that's all Krishna ever asked for. Not perfection, not control, just presence and surrender. When you feel lost, read the Gita again. Not as a scripture, but as a love letter from the divine to your soul. And remember, Krishna never said, don't feel. He just said, don't forget who you are while you feel.